atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults.
Fallout 3 was a monumental achievement that resurrected a classic computer RPG and brought it up to speed. The disgruntled cries of Oblivion with guns diminished as the accolades grew. Now, 2 years later, with some of the old-school Fallout staff at the helm, the series is heading back west to roll the dice in the den of inequity christened New Vegas. Has developer Obsidian given birth to a mutated savior, or is this something that should be killed with fire?
As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic.
Far from the Americana of the District of Columbia, this post-nuclear outing takes place in the Mojave Scrub and Sun. While you'll craft your character by means of a Rorschach test or two, the story always starts the same. You're a courier about to get a bullet in the head from a sharp-dressed man who offers a weak apology while pocketing your mysterious cargo.
You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene.
After being rescued, resurrected, and rehabilitated, vengeance and curiosity kickstart your adventure as you eke out an existence in Lower Nevada, and its neon jewel, New Vegas. The Strip was spared from the biggest blasts and is up and running with casinos and hookers under the charge of the mysterious Mr. House. War never changes, and neither does Vegas, a weird and wonderful place.
You like it, huh?
The area is ripe with tension, with the Romanesque Legion and militaristic New California Republic vying to control the Hoover Dam and the electricity it provides, while smaller gangs and groups scuffle over the table scraps. The moral gradient runs a gray gamut as you position yourself to play Kingmaker. Your decisions and their ramifications matter beyond the movement of an abstract epic stat. They affect how the very story plays out. The many side quests let even smaller communities tug on the narrative string, with multiple threads intersecting and crisscrossing, their echoes making themselves felt during later altercations. This is a participatory tale, where actions ripple and words matter. Vegas's web is spread out over big chunks of irradiated real estate. Mutated insects, drug fiends, and mad two-headed cows are ready to turn you into worm food as you scurry to the next oasis of civilization.
Hungry? Thirsty? Horny?
The wasteland has its own economy of scavenge, whereas refuse keeps you alive and armed. Survival and success depend on a delicate trinity of exploration, conversation, and combat, augmented by various skills, perks, and attributes whose utility can show up in unexpected places. There aren't any wrong choices when leveling up. Something like stealth, used primarily for sneaking around to pickpocket or filch, will also allow you to land critical hits on unsuspecting targets, or even smuggle weapons into a lockdown casino. The new survival mode, which asks you to balance encumbrance, thirst, and sleep, is best indulged only by achievement mongers, micromanagers, and those weaned on 80s RPGs. Keeping track of all these stats is easy with the handy Pip-Boy interface, which also acts as the inventory, quest tracker, and GPS. The complex plot is governed by reputation, a new stat which tracks how the various societies feel about you, based upon how you interact with them and their enemies. You end up getting locked out of some quests as a result of who you align with, which makes for a stronger story, even if it means you can't see all the content in a single playthrough.
Rightio, Daddy-o. Let's do it.
The map's a big old English muffin full of nooks and crannies bustling with activity. There's no need to grind, with quests at every corner and hidden locations begging you to unravel their mysteries. In spite of all the statistics to keep track of, New Vegas is easy enough to inhabit. The more mundane issues, like equipment, are handled on the green tint of your Pip-Boy. Combat is played out in a hybrid real-time system. You can shoot or strike from the hip, or try aiming with the new iron sights, but the auto-targeting VATS mechanic is still the preferred way to accrue the headshots. VATS crunches all your stats for aimed shots as long as you have the action points. When the fighting gets fierce, retreating and popping off a few shots as VATS recharges is the only option. And while Vegas's tweaked controls are welcome, the experience is still not as fluid as you'd expect from a first-person shooter. Getting around is easy, with fast travel from the map available once you visit a location. Most places are accessible by simply walking to them, barring wandering enemies or other obstacles. It can get lonesome out there, so feel free to recruit a companion. They supply special perks and quests, and the new circle menu system is a godsend, making your recruits less of a chore to manage and upping their durability. Those who made the DC run might see these improvements as minor. In the grand scheme of things, they are. New Vegas isn't so much of a bold leap forward as it is a series of inching, subtle improvements.
That's not so bad.
The game is more balanced, perks are rewarded every other level, stat tracking is stricter, and there's a greater weapon variety early on. Every quest and sortie is a unique experience,
If I wasn't working right now, I'd show you a real nice time.
provided you can stomach the technical troubles.
Are you ready to be all mine?
Fallout 3 fans might get a sense of deja vu. The Mojave Wasteland looks strikingly similar to the capital's. Global thermonuclear war tends to do that. The Gamebryo engine is getting old, stuttering at times, glitching out at others, with hard crashes happening way too often. Regardless of whether you're a vet or newcomer, these tremors provide more than a slight annoyance, and in our playtime we noted far more blemishes than we did in Fallout 3. It's baffling to see such technical ineptitude slammed against an otherwise marvelous achievement.
Sharp eyes on you, all right.
The audio is ace, supplying satisfying blasts, yelps, and screams. Pleasing even when heard in a slow-mo death cam. The radio blasts sad folk tunes and some smirk-worthy banter.
Hello, Raoul. Or should that be Hola?
Fueled with terrific voice acting, New Vegas manages to paint a convincing picture. You'll just have to squint a bit and make sure to save your game often. New Vegas is a hugely satisfying game that manages to put you into a believable world that you have a great deal of influence over. If you loved Fallout 3, there's no reason to avoid Sin City. And if this is your first time in the Wasteland, well, come on in, grab a gun, loot a corpse, and get ready for one hell of an adventure. Just be sure to keep an eye out for bugs. The most deadly ones aren't always the radioactive kind.
The game was rigged from the start.
War never changes.